Right now, 93 million miles away, a nuclear bomb the size of 1,000,000 Earths is burning. It has been burning for 4.6 billion years. And one day with zero warning, zero escape, it will kill everything on this planet. Not a meteor, not a war. The very star keeping you alive will turn into the thing that destroys you. NASA confirms the Sun will last another 5 billion years before becoming a white dwarf. 5 billion sounds safe, comfortable, far away. Here is the part nobody tells you. Earth dies much sooner than that. Where are you watching from? Drop it below and stay, because this gets darker before it makes sense. The Sun is not just a ball of fire. It is a machine. A nuclear fusion machine that converts hydrogen into helium at its core and releases energy so powerful that the light hitting your skin right now left the Sun 8 minutes ago. The Sun is currently in the most stable phase of its existence, a yellow dwarf star, about 100 times wider than Earth and 10 times wider than Jupiter. That stability is not permanent. It is a countdown. Our solar system formed about 4.5 billion years ago. The Sun is just past the halfway point of its stable lifetime, which means the clock is already running. More than half the time is gone. Here is where most people relax. 5 billion years remaining sounds like forever. But that thinking misses the most important detail in this entire story. The Sun has been increasing its brightness by about 10% every billion years it spends burning hydrogen. More brightness means more heat arriving at Earth's surface. Not dramatically, not all at once. Slowly, quietly, unstoppably, the way a fever climbs while you sleep. In about 1 billion years, the Sun will be hot enough to boil our oceans. 1 billion years. Not 5. Humanity has existed for roughly 300,000 years. 1 billion years is more than 3,000 times that. It still sounds comfortable until you do the real math on what happens between now and then. The Sun's luminosity increases by 1% every 110 million years. That is not a rounding error. That is a slow-motion death sentence written in physics, running in the background of every sunrise you have ever seen. As the planet heats up, water on the surface will begin evaporating. That water vapor rises into the atmosphere and acts as a greenhouse gas, trapping more heat, evaporating more water, trapping even more heat. A spiral with no exit. The oceans do not boil in one afternoon. They go quiet. They thin. They retreat from coastlines over millions of years until the ground is cracked and the sky holds water as steam instead of clouds. By 2.8 billion years from now, the surface temperature of Earth will reach 149 degrees Celsius even at the poles. Any remaining life will be gone. Not extinct in the way dinosaurs went extinct violently, suddenly. Gone the way a fire dies. Ember by ember. The last microbes living in deep underground ice pockets. Then nothing. But that is not the most dramatic chapter of this story. Not even close. Because the Sun has not even started its real transformation yet. And when it does, the entire solar system changes shape. If you have never subscribed, do it now. This next part is the reason people share this video. Once the Sun burns through all the hydrogen in its core, gravity takes over. The core compresses. The outer layers expand. The Sun grows into a red giant that will be large enough to swallow the inner planets, including Earth. Let that picture form. The thing that currently fits inside a single degree of sky grows until it fills the horizon. Then fills half the sky. Then fills all of it. NASA scientists confirm they are confident the Sun will swallow Mercury and Venus. The fate of Earth is less clear, but recent modeling suggests Earth probably will not survive intact. Probably. That is the word scientists use when they mean almost certainly but cannot ethically remove the margin. When the Sun enters its red giant phase, Earth will be vaporized perhaps just a few million years after Mercury and Venus have been consumed. Every rock, every fossil, every trace of every creature that ever lived here will be absorbed into the Sun's expanding surface. Every painting, every buried city, every name carved into stone. Gone. The solar system's fate is still debated among scientists. Exactly how far the dying Sun will expand is not yet fully clear. But what is not debated is this. Earth will not be habitable long before the planet itself is gone. Here is the rehook that changes everything. While Earth is being incinerated, something else is waking up. When the Sun becomes a red giant, the temperatures on Pluto's surface will be roughly the same as the average temperatures on Earth's surface right now. Pluto frozen, dark, distant Pluto will have liquid water on its surface. A thick atmosphere. Complex organic chemistry. The same conditions that existed on early Earth when life first appeared. The death of one world is the birth certificate of another. A study found that Europa, one of Jupiter's icy moons, could become a warm, water-rich haven for up to 200 million years after the Sun begins to die. While Earth burns, Europa could briefly support life. 200 million years is longer than dinosaurs walked this planet. The solar system does not simply end. It relocates. The habitable zone, the region where liquid water can exist, drifts outward, past the scorched inner planets, past the asteroid belt, into the deep cold that was always too far from the Sun to matter. Until it is not. But there is one more thing. One calculation that scientists have quietly been running for decades. And it changes the entire question of survival. Here is what nobody puts in the headline. 5 billion years from now, when the Sun finally exhausts its core hydrogen, it will not just expand. The Sun's total luminosity will reach 2,730 times its current output at the peak of its red giant phase. Not twice as bright. Not 10 times. 2,730 times. At that intensity, most of Earth's atmosphere will be stripped to space. The surface will become a lava ocean, with floating chunks of metal and metal oxides, the temperature exceeding 2,400 Kelvin, hot enough to melt granite like butter. And then after all of that violence, the Sun does something unexpected. It gives up. Unlike massive stars that explode as supernovae, our Sun will follow a quieter path. It will shed its outer layers gently, forming a glowing shell of gas called a planetary nebula. What remains at the center will be a white dwarf, the exposed core of the former Sun. No larger than Earth, but incredibly dense, slowly cooling across billions of years. The most powerful object in our solar system will end as something smaller than the planet it once warmed. Scientists suggest that frozen worlds too cold to support life today may thaw when their star expands into a red giant, receiving far more heat. In the far future, such worlds could become habitable around small red suns for billions of years, maybe even starting life, just like Earth, said Cornell researcher Lisa Kaltneger. This is the twist hidden inside what looks like a tragedy. The Sun's death is not the end of the story. It is a redistribution of conditions. The warmth moves. The chemistry moves. Life, if it is stubborn enough, if it adapts or is carried forward, could follow. Scientists say that even if Earth does somehow survive the red giant expansion, every planet that remains will experience radiation so extreme that the only chance for any form of survival would be migration to a new planetary home. Which means the real question is not whether the Sun dies. It is whether anything that began on Earth will be alive to watch it happen. There is something I have not mentioned yet, and it is the one fact that puts all of this in a completely different frame. Life on Earth appeared roughly 3.8 billion years ago. The Sun will make Earth uninhabitable in about 1 billion years. That means life on this planet may already be closer to its end than to its beginning. We are not early. We are not in the middle. We may be quite late. Every civilization, every species, every life form that will ever exist on Earth, the overwhelming majority of them have already come and gone. The window is not wide open. It is narrowing. And yet the same physics that condemns Earth opens a door somewhere else. Pluto thaws. Europa melts into ocean. Distant icy bodies drift into warmth for the first time in 4.6 billion years. As one study put it, in a fiery, dramatic end to one part of the system, life could find new beginnings. The Sun is not a villain in this story. It is a timer. It always was. There is one moon in this solar system where liquid water may already exist beneath the ice right now. Today, and scientists believe it could outlast Earth by billions of years. Watch this next. It is the strongest candidate for life in our own solar system, and it is not where most people look.